Hi everybody, here's Pam from the Paper Outpost again, ready to knock her video camera recorder. Okay, ready to show you her latest journal. This is a jewel-toned vintage journal, and she is very pretty from all sides. She is loaded with vintage and handmade ephemera. She has all sorts of exciting things packed inside of her, some sari silks, things like that. Okay, so let's give you her details. And she is approximately 9 by 5 1/4, and she has about a 2 1/4 inch spine with a 4-inch gator mouth. Yeah. And included with this journal, I recently made on a video this writing board, and I'm going to include this with the journal. And this is used to put under the pages if you want just a firmer writing space, because she does have a lot of ephemera in her. And she's a soft cover. She's a fabric cover, but she has some structure to her. So she's got a great feel. She's got like a soft, squishy kind of feel to her. But she's very strong as well. Yeah. And the way I made her cover is she has a patchwork of different materials underneath some cheesecloths. There's laces and sari silks and some jewel-toned fabrics, all tucked in underneath here and all machine sewn onto the cover. And she is adorned with 3 beautiful cheesecloth, antiqued and aged bejeweled flowers, and a sari silk wrap with a beaded dangle. And let's get inside her and see what's going on. It always takes so long to get inside her to see what's going on, right? Okay, well, here we go. We're going in. All right. Oop, one more. And this is only attached to the front, so it's easy and out of the way. Okay, so let's see if you can see that. Yes, you can. Okay, so I'll give you a quick flash of the inside cover. So there's some beautiful sari silks, aged doily. Here's in the front. There's several pockets here, 1, 2 pockets, and we've got some clips. We've got some journaling cards. And that one is an alcohol ink journaling card. I always include with all of my journals a little explanation of the journal, how you can use the journal, the purpose. And it's hand signed by me, and it's tucked inside here. And there's some more handmade tags and a library card, a library catalog card, and some writing paper. And this is just a little pretty sari silk flip. Very bejeweled. Okay, let me see if I've got her in focus. Yep, she looks good. Okay, so this is a little sari covered pocket. And in here I've got all sorts of goodies. Let's see what we got. Oh, I've got her paper clipped on here. I'm just going to show you some of the things in here. An herb card, a little journaling tag, a photo, days gone by, a little family, a big tag, and here's a beautiful letter from 1887, November 11th. It's about a journey somebody took. And I'll let the owner read about that. So you've got a lot of interesting and neat little things to discover and explore throughout this bejeweled journal. And I focused on the colors of burgundy, gold, and green throughout. All right, and she has tabs. There are 5, I'm not even counting this one, but there are 5 tabs, which I also made the other day. And there's another one. So she has, oh, I didn't say, she has 5 signatures and about 240 pages, and that's not including all the extra ephemera. So there's lots of writing space in here, but if you want, you can remove a lot of it. So you have even more writing space. But I gave you a lot of extra little places to write things as well. Journaling cards, vintage stationery, things like that. All right, away we go. There's a lot of little added decorative tabs on this little journal. Cheesecloths and laces and buttons. Okay. Lots of places to write. Let me show you these two things. These are my hand-decorated paper clips to make them look aged. I used alcohol inks on those. I made this little booklet. It's been sewn with some sari silk, and it's a booklet of many different types of papers. You can either journal in here or use them as tearaways. And this is some extra writing paper, some vintage writing paper. All right. Here is a very old Valentine I came across. I thought that was just adorable. And another lovely vintage photo. Another tag to journal on. And here's, I believe these are German, vintage German ration cards from 1918. There we go. We'll tuck those babies back in there. So she truly is a journal of discovery. Very beautiful lady. More writing space. Another little tuck spot. Here's an actual library card. Vintage. Here's a little piece of ephemera, some sewing ephemera. And I turned her into a little flip that says, "Attitude is everything." And I just love the look on that little chicken's face. That's right. You've got that attitude, you've got it going. I've also included some vintage children's crayon book color pages in here. So there's some doodles from days gone by. And here's a lovely little fabric altered paper clip. Lovely design from the child. And a little pocket with extra little things in here for you to explore. So I've used some vellum that has a beautiful print on it. Many different vintage book pages. Here's an extra little flip out here to give you extra journaling space. Some vintage dictionary pages. The lovely crinkle of the tracing paper, which has been coffee dyed. A beautiful old music page. Here's some lovely little tickets and cards here. You can see that, but I went over those with a sparkle marker. Okay. You're going to find a lot of pages have lace or trim on the sides. Here's a collage cluster here with a little poem. And the little poems and the little word prompts and little sayings are meant to inspire you to write, if you feel so inclined. Here's an actual authentic ledger paper from 1902. And this is removable. I love this one. Never buy just one roll of toilet paper, one roll of film, or one jar of peanut butter. Get two. Very important advice, sage advice. Here's a different little pullout from a book. And then you can also flip it this way for extra journaling space. A little number in the corner, 807. Some decorated paper clips with some ribbon. Here's a decorated envelope. And inside here we have some more writing space. It's a vintage stationery, decorated, and here is a lovely picture of some Amish boys on a postcard. Definitely a call to another time. This might have been things that somebody just tucked away in a book somewhere a long time ago, pieces of somebody's life. I'm absolutely fascinated by the vintage ephemera. I think it's amazing. Here's some stamping I've done on here. Some more vintage pages, some more of the vellum. This is a little envelope that I've hand dyed and stained, and there's some lace on it here, a little saying, and it flips up, and there's a little surprise in there for you, which I'll let you discover. Here's a fabric collaged button tuck spot, and a little postcard tucked in there. Here's a lovely stuffed pocket with all sorts of goodies in it. Aren't they adorable? Look at those little faces. Those were the days, huh? Yeah. And more journal cards, all sorts of them in here for extra writing space. And here is a Victorian advertising card from days gone by with a little journaling prompt on it. And this is a beautiful piece of vintage wallpaper. Absolutely gorgeous. I left it plain so you could either decorate it or write on it, whatever you'd like. And I just adorned it a little bit with a banner that I hand dyed and decorated a little bit. And here's some beautiful vintage stationery with a gorgeous print of some birds. And that opens up for more writing space. This is some handmade paper that I made probably about 15 years ago now. Oh God. And I thought it would go well in this journal with the colors. And here is another little journaling card. Thanks. Some stamping. Oh, and we've got another, we've got a big, as this is actually, this opens up and there's more journaling space with a prompt. And here is an old check from 1943. I'm pretty sure it's already been cashed. Here's a lovely little playing card with a gorgeous, the colors were perfect for this journal. And here's a little handmade paper clip with some embellishments on it and a little prompt. And a lovely little decorated collaged pocket. More quotes. This little guy is a vintage die cut. Mr. Barnes. Mr. Barnes has a lot of writing on his back, and he looks like he's from the 30s. So there's many stamps throughout, some old airplane books, and here's another little cluster on a bulb pin. One of the tabs. There's stenciling throughout. This is actually a very tiny pocket. These were bright yellow and I dyed them with some coffee dye and they went to a nice vintage color. Running in the gold themes here. Oh, here's a beautiful card, 2 years old, and it's a pop-up. These used to be very popular back in the 20s. And here's the other piece of that vintage ledger with the number. I love the numbers in the corner. They're amazing. Some trim on the side of the page. Some bling. More children's drawing. These are Thailand bus tickets, I believe. That's a little leaf from a fern. Here's a little pocket decorated. And she has an old coffee cake recipe inside of her. And some more decoration back here. Here's a little pocket. And there's a little tag inside of there from vintage books. And oh, okay, this one houses my most favorite. I love the image on the front. But I truly love the saying on the back, never eat a sugared donut when wearing a dark suit. Such sage advice. I love that. Okay. I'll orient things here as they run around. And here's a very big tag made out of a giant eco-printed piece of paper. And I've collaged on the back You can write on the back as well. And there's a big file folder card here that I've aged. Some more crinkly tracing paper that has been coffee dyed, some more writing space. Here's a little belly band that I sewed and placed some coffee dyed lace on. And this houses a little extra writing space as well. A little collage pocket, and these three you can pull out, and they're little inspirations and prompts. Okay, beautiful center. Okay, another beautiful writing card. Decoupaged pocket with a scallop trim and some vintage ephemera from Lowell's Garage. Very important. Everybody's got to get the car fixed. Some extra writing paper in this little upper tuck made out of a playing card. There's a fabric, there's a napkin collaged on there. I believe it was a rice paper napkin. Some stenciling on the crinkly tracing paper, and there's some beautiful stamps included. And this I made the other day as well. This is a piece of acetate I ran through the embossing machine, and then I applied some different colors on it, and I turned it into a pocket for you. More stamps and prompts. What do we got here? Oh, here is a little adorned paper booklet again with little note papers in there for you to write extra special things, and an extra little journaling tag. Okay, some stamping on the tracing paper, and here's a side tuck with some extra writing paper, some more children's coloring book. This is a little side pocket here, houses 2 journaling cards for you. I like to put things on the back of the cards just to give you a little inspiration. Some stamping or script stamp, pears. They went with the right colors here, some stamping, and this is a piece of that wallpaper as well. I thought it was so beautiful. Didn't want to waste a drop. I thought it was gorgeous. And some more stamping. And here's an upper tuck with a vintage card. Whoop, actually it's upside down. It says toys and fancy goods. That's right, that's where you get your fancy goods. Extra writing paper. There's a beautiful old book page with a tab and a dangly. More book pages. Oh, this was kind of fun. Did some stenciling of pink hearts here with some brown embedded, and then I made a little accordion flip out here. So you could put some photos or some notes, whatever you like in there. And this has an upsy-downsy effect to it. This one flips, whoop, can't see that. This one flips this way. And this one up here has a little tuck of a collection of vintage stamps in a glassine envelope. More stamping and prompts. And here's a little coin envelope with a little surprise inside there. Some knitting instructions. Leaf, beautiful stamp. Here's a bigger envelope. I just made these the other day. And inside here there's another journaling card with a little prompt on it for you. Like I said, a lot of this can be removed to increase the writing space if you so choose. Try to remember. All right, we've got some more goodies here. A little card, a vintage sewing ephemera, and an alteration tag for you to play with, journal on, take apart or put in different places, use for different things. Every time I look down, I see the microphone clipped onto my shirt, and I think it's a bug. Oh, God. Okay. More vellum. And here's some hands sprayed and dyed papers. Little collage. And here's an envelope that I turned into a multi-tuck. So you've got some book page. This is actually a mathematical book. And you got something else in there. That thing's loaded. Rolodex card, which has been aged. A little tuck here with a little note in it. And here's, I believe these are from Taiwan. And yes, Thai Charity Lottery. These are lottery tickets from Taiwan. I think they're already expired. Yeah. So they're vintage. Yes. Here we have, this is a vintage keep dry from Clark's and Skilling's. We've got a festive holiday recipe. Very important. Everybody needs to know how to make their eggs, their holiday eggs. Here's a handmade journaling card with some embossing on it. And this is avocado dye on the back. A little more collaging on the back side of this. We've got a little dangly thing here, going with the jewel tone, slight Bohemian vibe in this journal. All right, move along here, more writing pages. And here's a tearaway. You can use these little bits and pieces throughout your journal, or journal right on them if you like. More stamping and stamps. Here's a collage made from a wedding dress and a paper clip and a button and some eco-dyed fabric underneath. A lovely couple. I believe they're Tim Holtz. Oh, could be Tim Holtz and his wife. No. Here's a stenciled page for extra writing. And here's another little crinkly, you can either use it as a writing space or a tearaway. I'll leave that up to you. And here's your next signature, which also has a little dangle on it. And an antique button with laces and fabrics. And the journal is very, it has a lot of different textures in it, so it has a very good feel to it. Some of the papers are crunchy and bumpy, and others are smooth like velvet and silk. And a lot of the adornments have a good texture feel to them. This is a fabric covered pocket and a little tuck spot in there for you. Always increasing that writing space because I love to overfill these babies, as you can see. I put in a couple different pieces of money from around the world. I thought the colors went well with this journal. And I'm pretty sure all this money has been, it's defunct, like it's not used in regular currency today. More bejeweling and clustering and old newspapers. I think this one is from 1968. Yeah, 1968. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Another pocket. And it has a little flip inside with some more writing space. Another little journaling card. All right, what else do we have? Oh, we have a little extra top pocket here with a journaling card. And yes, we have more journaling cards. You can never have too many journaling cards. Got to write down those thoughts, save them so that somebody like us can find it years from now and go through and figure out what life was like back in your day. More newspaper, little stamping. These, it's like a tri-pocket. Each one, these are all removable and they have beautiful little sayings in them. Okay. And this is a little belly band with a book page. More loose writing, vintage writing paper. Little collage and some bling. Coloring book. This is about the sensory nerves in the body, how they work. This is like a linen-y fabric kind of paper. More coffee dyed paper. Another little collage on the corner. This little guy is one of those little thread holders. I believe these are Russian bus tickets, if I am not incorrect. You know, sometimes when I'm shopping, gosh only knows. And here are some beautiful little, also little prompts for you. And a collage and another little, here's a vintage glassine bag of Thai bus tickets for you. And some more journaling cards in here. More stenciling and dyeing. Beautiful poems. This is from Pattern magazine, vintage magazine. These are some vintage, these are some papers that I designed. I didn't like the picture on them, so I decided to make them pretty. So that's what I did. And, there we go. Sometimes got to use that trick. There you go. And you're in. All right. This is another little tearaway. And here's a, what I would call a sparsely sewn Franken-Page page. And this is a beautiful collage I made a few months ago. And it was waiting for the perfect journal, and I think I finally found it home. Here's a tea bag cover envelope, ugly button turned pretty, and some other little doodads, hopes, and some journaling paper, of course. More writing space. This is a fabric bookmark. This comes out with a button on the top and some laces. Here's a little collage page with some bling. And this is a little booklet that comes out. And it's a little trifold. And you can put some pictures or some quotes or something in there, whichever you find interesting. Here's eco-dyed watercolor paper from some plants in my yard that I made, probably 3 months ago. More bling, old music pages, more poems. Here's another little pocket with some stuff inside with a prompt on it. And here is a little journaling card and his little baby brother, this one. You can see those on a fabric pocket that I made and collaged. And here's some nice, this is actually sari silk trim on here. And this is a belly band, and there is a little notebook tearaway inside here. So you have extra papers to play with. And here's the back. And in the back, you got a little, just a little place to write. Extra, very old paper. This is one of my, this is a reproduction of one of my drawings. It's a little guy that I draw that does yoga. It's a little bunny, and that's me. And this has another tuck in the back. It has this little writing area. Very cute. Little prompt in there. And a bigger envelope for other things. You may want to tuck inside of here. And I tucked in a few little journaling cards and things like that for you to get you started. But of course, you know, you can change these all out to your own. There's a little file folder in there too. And so this is her. I call her the jewel-toned vintage journal, handmade journal. And that's her. That's how she goes. She looks like that on the back. And you can see the sequins through and the sari silk. And there she is on the front. And she does have this gorgeous tie again. So she is for sale. She's going to be in my Etsy shop as soon as I get her up there and loaded. And she does include this, did I show you the back? This writing board as well. And there is free shipping on right now. And it's actually going to be on, period. So there you go. You get free shipping on all my journals. If you want to check out this one or other ones that I have up for sale, please check out my Etsy. And I'm very honored that you took a peek at my journal today. I hope you're all well. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.